Imagine stepping back about 1.5 million years ago, to a world that looked nothing like ours today. On a lush island we now call Java, a solitary figure walks along the edge of a wide river. His body is stockier than ours, his brow ridges heavier, his jaw more pronounced. Yet the way he moves is strikingly familiar, upright, confident, steady in each step. This was Homo erectus, better known as Java Man, a name that entered scientific history after Eugene Dubois unearthed fossils in 1891 at Trinel, East Java. The discovery hit the scientific world like a thunderclap. Until that moment, many scholars believed Europe was the cradle of humankind, but here was evidence that early humans had roamed far outside of Africa, thriving in Southeast Asia. Java Man instantly became a subject of fascination and controversy. Was this truly the first hominin to leave Africa and settle new lands? Or was it simply one branch among many in the human evolutionary tree? That single fossil ignited debates that continue even today, changing forever how we imagine the story of human origins. To appreciate why Java Man mattered so much, we need to rewind to the late 19th century, when knowledge about human evolution was still in its infancy. Charles Darwin had published his ideas on natural selection only a few decades earlier, sparking heated debates. Many European scientists assumed that if humans had evolved from ape-like ancestors, then Europe must surely have been the birthplace of mankind. But Eugene Dubois, a young Dutch military doctor with a burning curiosity, thought otherwise. Inspired by Darwin's work, he believed Asia might hold the key. Leaving behind a promising medical career, he embarked on a risky journey to the Dutch East Indies, determined to search for ancient bones. His gamble paid off. At Trinel, he unearthed a partial skullcap, a femur, and a molar. Now, imagine what it took for such beings to leave Africa in the first place. There were no maps, no ships, no deliberate expeditions, only survival, instinct, and slow adaptation over countless generations. Scientists believe that Homo erectus began leaving Africa about 2 million years ago, taking advantage of climate changes that opened up vast grasslands and corridors of migration. Following herds of animals, searching for water, they moved steadily across the Middle East, into South Asia, and eventually into Southeast Asia. The fossil record in Sangirin, Trinel and Ngondong confirms that by the time they reached Java, Homo erectus had not just passed through but settled there for hundreds of thousands of years. What's even more fascinating is that the Javanese population of Homo erectus may have lasted far longer than their counterparts elsewhere. Some evidence suggests they survived until as recently as 100,000 years ago. If true, Java was one of the very last refuges of Homo erectus on Earth, making Java Man a central figure in the saga of human migration. Of course, life for Java Man was never easy. The landscapes they inhabited were filled with towering volcanoes, shifting rivers, and a menagerie of giant beasts. Imagine having to share the forest with the massive stegodon elephants, or crossing paths with enormous rhinos and saber-toothed cats. For survival, intelligence was as critical as strength. The stone tools of Homo erectus may look simple to sharp flakes for cutting meat, hammerstones for breaking bones, but they represented enormous advances in technology at the time. Fire, too, became a turning point. Whether gathered from natural sources or carefully maintained, fire provided warmth, safety from predators, and the power to cook, transforming the way these early humans lived, through cooperation, adaptability, and ingenuity. Java Man didn't just survive, he thrived in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. Today, his legacy is more than bones in a museum drawer. He represents resilience, daring, and the human drive to explore beyond the horizon. In Java Man, we can glimpse the roots of what makes us human: curiosity, adaptability, and the restless urge to push boundaries. Imagine standing on the deck of a ship, the wind whipping your hair, salty spray on your face, and the distant rumble of waves crashing against the hull echoing beneath your feet. The vast ocean stretches before you, an endless expanse dotted with the dark silhouettes of uncharted islands. You've sailed for weeks, driven by the need to explore, to discover, and perhaps to escape. The thought of what awaits on those mysterious shores keeps you going through bouts of rough seas and quiet nights. Under a canopy of stars, welcome to this channel. Today, let's embark on a voyage back in time, over 100,000 years ago. Our destination, the island of Java, a place steeped in history and teeming with life. We're on the trail of Java Man, our early ancestor who left Africa and settled here more than 1 million years ago. But there's more to our story. Let's set sail to unravel the secrets of Java Man. Our arrival in Java mirrors the journey of our ancestors, who crossed the seas to this tropical paradise. They came equipped with sharp stone tools and an insatiable curiosity. Life here is a tapestry woven with lush rainforests, meandering rivers, and sprawling grasslands. As we delve deeper into this ancient landscape, we uncover signs of their existence, remnants of a way of life that flourished amidst volcanoes and earthquakes. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, we spot signs of life, not the kind we expected. Instead of towering apes, we find smaller creatures adapted to a unique way of living. The Sunda Islands are home to a symphony of biodiversity. Take for instance the native Borneo orangutans, also known as the red apes. These great apes swing gracefully through the trees, their reddish-brown fur blending seamlessly with the lush foliage. Their long prehensile arms help them navigate the forest canopy with ease, while their large, expressive eyes reveal their intelligence. Java man would have encountered these magnificent creatures during his explorations and perhaps shared some of their arboreal territories. But our journey doesn't end with the orangutans. The Sunda Islands are also home to a variety of other animals, including Asian elephants, tigers, leopards, and an array of colorful birds. Imagine the sight of a majestic elephant emerging from the jungle or the sound of a tiger's roar echoing through the night. These encounters would have been both awe-inspiring and humbling for our early explorers. However, as we venture further, we realize that this Eden-like landscape was not without its challenges. Our attention turns to Mount Toba, a colossal volcano that dominates the horizon. Its slopes rise majestically, bearing witness to countless years of volcanic activity. But Mount Toba holds a darker secret. Approximately 74,000 years ago, it roared back to life in one of the most violent volcanic eruptions in human history. Ash and pumice billowed into the sky, blanketing the surrounding areas in a layer of debris. The impact was catastrophic, reaching far beyond the immediate vicinity. The eruption unleashed a massive pulse of ash and gas that spread across the globe, triggering massive climate shifts. This event, known as the Toba catastrophe theory, proposed that this eruption had a profound impact on early humans. The sudden climatic changes may have triggered a genetic bottleneck, potentially reducing the global human population to just a few thousand individuals. This near-extinction event forced our ancestors to adapt quickly, clinging to survival in the face of a dramatically altered world. As we stand before the remnants of a once fiery giant, we ponder the resilience of our ancestors in the face of such cataclysmic events. But Mount Toba's eruption was not an isolated incident. The region is part of the infamous Ring of Fire, a horseshoe-shaped belt around the Pacific Ocean, where tectonic plates collide. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions were not just dramatic occurrences, they were forces that shaped the very essence of Java. This meant that Homo erectus didn't just face the challenge of taming a wild landscape, but also of adapting to constant change. The shifting sands, the tremors beneath their feet, and the unpredictable rhythms of nature became part of their lived experience. This was not the settled life they envisioned, but a journey of continuous adjustment. They learned to read the subtle signs of the land, predicting the whims of rivers and the rumblings of volcanoes. Their survival depended on this intimate knowledge. And in this dance with the dynamic terrain, they inadvertently left behind an invaluable legacy for us today. Our next stop takes us to Trinel, a place that has indelibly etched its name in the annals of paleoanthropology. It was here in 1891 that Dutch physician Eugene Dubois unearthed the first fragments of a Homo erectus skull. His discovery was nothing short of groundbreaking, offering a tantalizing glimpse into the world of our ancient ancestors. But Dubois's journey to Trinel was not a chance occurrence. He had come seeking answers, drawn by the enigmatic tales of locals who spoke of finding strange bones in the area. What he uncovered here would forever alter our understanding of human evolution. At Trinel, we're not just examining fossils, we're exploring a window into the past. The bones and artifacts found here tell a story of life, struggle, and adaptation. The discovery of the Ngondong people, a group of Homo erectus individuals found in caves on the southern slopes of Mount Bromo, provided crucial insights into the longevity and diversity of our ancestors in Java. Their remains, along with animal bones and stone tools, paint a vivid picture of their daily lives. This archaeological treasure trove allows us to piece together the puzzle of their existence. We learn about their diet, their activities, and the environment they inhabited. The Ngondong people were not just survivors, they were innovators, demonstrating the cognitive abilities and adaptability that allowed them to flourish on this dynamic island. Their ingenuity is evident in the creation of sophisticated stone tools that aided them in gathering resources and adapting to the challenges posed by their surroundings. The caves themselves become characters in this story, offering protection and resources while serving as silent witnesses to the lives of those who sought refuge within them. As we continue our exploration of Java, we must acknowledge the presence of another intriguing hominin, Homo florensis. Once dubbed the Hobbit due to their small stature, these relatives of ours inhabited the nearby island of Flores. While some believe they might be descendants of a distinct population of Homo erectus, others argue they represent a new species altogether. The discovery of Homo florensis raises fascinating questions about human evolution, showcasing the incredible adaptability and diversity of our lineage. These hominins possessed a unique combination of primitive and advanced traits, challenging conventional notions of human development. Their small stature and primitive characteristics suggest a more ancient lineage, while evidence of tool use and controlled fire indicate more advanced cognitive abilities. The coexistence of these two hominin species in close geographic proximity offers a rare glimpse into the complexities of human evolution during the Pleistocene epoch. The presence of Homo erectus and Homo florensis highlights the adaptability and resilience of hominins in diverse environments. It also underscores the importance of studying multiple hominin species to gain a comprehensive understanding of our evolutionary past. The interaction and potential competition between these two species may have played a significant role in shaping their respective adaptations and survival strategies. By unraveling the mysteries of their coexistence, we gain deeper insights into the forces that have shaped our own species, Homo sapiens. As we stand at the crossroads of these two fascinating hominin species, we recognize the immense privilege of witnessing such remarkable discoveries. Homo erectus and Homo florensis stand as testaments to the incredible diversity and adaptability of our ancient relatives. Their stories challenge our perceptions of human evolution and remind us of the richness and complexity of our past. As we bid farewell to Java, we carry with us the echoes of laughter, the scent of rainforest, and the weight of history. The journey has been nothing short of transformative, a voyage that has taken us back to the very roots of our existence. We've walked in the footsteps of our ancestors, marveled at the wonders they encountered, and pondered the challenges they faced. The story of Java Man is not just a tale of survival, it's a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration, the relentless pursuit of discovery, and the enduring legacy of our ancestors. One of the most striking lessons we learned from Java Man is that survival was not just about physical strength, but about adaptability in the face of constant change. Over the hundreds of thousands of years that Homo erectus lived in Java, the climate shifted dramatically. There were cooler glacial periods when sea levels dropped, connecting islands and exposing vast stretches of land, followed by warmer interglacial periods when rising seas turned those land bridges back into oceans. For Java Man, this meant that their world was never static. At times they may have walked to Java across dry land, following animal herds. At other times, isolation may have cut them off from mainland Asia, forcing them to adapt to the limited resources of island life. These constant environmental fluctuations demanded creativity, adjusting diets, altering hunting strategies, and perhaps moving camp seasonally. Such resilience shows us that adaptability, not dominance, was the true key to longevity. The ability of Homo erectus to thrive under these shifting conditions gives us insight into the evolutionary roots of human flexibility today. Fossils from Java also provide us with a rare window into the physical evolution of Homo erectus over time. The earliest specimens, such as those from Trinidad, show more primitive features, thicker skull bones, a smaller brain case, and pronounced brow ridges, but later finds, such as the Ngondong fossils, reveal subtle changes, slightly larger cranial capacity, finer bone structure, and features edging closer to modern humans. This gradual transition suggests that Homo erectus in Java was not static but evolving in response to new challenges and environments. Some researchers even argue that the Ngondong population might represent one of the last stages before the emergence of more advanced species. If true, then Java Man was not simply a relic of the past but a participant in the ongoing story of human evolution. Standing at the crossroads between what came before and what would eventually become us, These fossils remind us that evolution is not a straight line but a branching, shifting process, full of experiments, adaptations, and possibilities. Beyond bones and tools, Java Man leaves us with tantalizing questions about the beginnings of culture. Did they have rituals? Did they care for their dead? While the evidence is fragmentary, some discoveries spark fascinating speculation. For example, certain Homo erectus sites in Java show signs that bones may have been deliberately arranged, though interpretations vary. Could this suggest an early awareness of death, a primitive form of respect or curiosity toward those who had passed? Even if we cannot confirm rituals in the modern sense, the social bonds of Homo erectus likely included shared responsibility for the sick and elderly. A broken femur fossil from another Homo erectus site outside Java shows signs of healing, suggesting that the individual lived for weeks or months after the injury, something that would have been impossible without group support. If they showed care for one another, then Java Man was not just a survivor, but also a social being, planting the earliest seeds of empathy and cooperation that continue to define us as humans today. Java Man's importance also lies in the way it transforms scientific thought. When Dubois first presented his discovery, many colleagues dismissed him, calling his apeman either an oversized gibbon or simply a deformed human. For decades, his interpretation was marginalized, and Dubois himself grew bitter. Yet as more fossils were unearthed across Asia and Africa, the true significance of his find became undeniable. Today, the Trinor fossil is recognized as one of the cornerstones of paleoanthropology. It forced scientists to look beyond Europe, to consider Asia as a major stage in human prehistory, and to refine the out-of-Africa theory. The debate sparked by Java Man encouraged new expeditions, leading to discoveries in China, Africa, and beyond. In this way, Java Man's legacy is not confined to the past. It shaped the very questions we continue to ask about human origins. Every new fossil found in Java is like another piece of a vast puzzle, reminding us that the story of humanity is global, diverse, and still unfolding. If we zoom out and place Java Man within the larger context of human migration, the scale of their achievement becomes even more impressive. Consider this. Homo erectus was the first hominin known to have spread across 3 continents: Africa, Europe, and Asia. For a species without advanced tools, maps, or language as we know it, this was extraordinary. Their journey wasn't a deliberate expedition, but a slow, generational drift driven by food, climate, and chance. Yet the results were monumental. By reaching Java, they had crossed one of the farthest frontiers available to early humans. The fossils there prove that humanity's story has never been limited to a single place. We are, by nature, wanderers, and in every step Java Man took, we see the beginning of a legacy that would culminate in modern humans building ships, traversing oceans, and eventually looking to the stars. Their trek reminds us that the urge to explore is not a modern invention, it is an ancient inheritance. Another remarkable dimension of Java Man's legacy is how their discovery reshaped Indonesia's role in the history of science. Before Dubois's expedition, the islands of Southeast Asia were rarely considered central to human evolution, but the bones unearthed in Trinil, and later in Sangiran and Ngondong, put Indonesia firmly on the map of paleoanthropology. Today, Sangiran is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, home to one of the richest collections of Homo erectus fossils in the world. This concentration of remains provides scientists with an unparalleled opportunity to study variation within the species, tracking how Java Man changed over hundreds of thousands of years. For Indonesians, the story of Java Man is also a cultural treasure. It shows that their homeland was not a peripheral stage but a major theater in humanity's drama. It reminds us that the roots of human history stretch into every corner of the globe, linking people today to the deep time of our shared past. Java Man also forces us to confront a humbling truth about extinction. Here was a species that endured for nearly 1 million years, far longer than Homo sapiens has existed so far, yet, in the end, they vanished. Their disappearance teaches us that survival is never guaranteed, no matter how successful a species may seem. Climate changes, competition, and sheer chance can erase even the most resilient lineages. For modern humans, this offers a sobering lesson. Our technological advances may feel like protection, but we too are subject to the forces of nature and the limits of our adaptability. When we study the rise and fall of Homo erectus in Java, we are not just learning about the past, we are looking into a mirror of possible futures. Their bones whisper a warning. Adaptability must never be taken for granted, and survival depends on how wisely we face change. Yet despite their extinction, The legacy of Java man continues to live on in us. The way they tamed fire, used tools, and cooperated in groups laid foundations that would eventually blossom in later species, including Homo sapiens. Even if we are not their direct descendants, their influence is part of the evolutionary fabric that shaped us. Every time we light a fire, share food, or migrate to new lands, we are echoing behaviors that Java man once practiced. Their story also fuels our imagination, inspiring films, books, and countless debates about what it means to be human. Perhaps the most enduring gift of Java man is the reminder that humanity has always been a global species. From the very beginning, our ancestors ventured beyond the familiar, tested their limits, and embraced the unknown. In celebrating their journey, we are celebrating the oldest part of ourselves, the unyielding spirit of exploration. In reflecting on the life of Java man, one striking aspect is how their story embodies both familiarity and strangeness. On the one hand, they were clearly not like Uster skulls heavier, their foreheads sloping, their faces framed by thick brow ridges. Yet in other ways, they were astonishingly similar. They walked as we walk, used their hands with purpose, and relied on each other to survive. When we imagine them gathered around a fire, roasting meat, or watching the glowing embers fade into the night, the gap of 1,000,000 years seems to shrink. They were not mindless brutes, but thinking beings, solving problems and forging bonds. To see ourselves reflected in Java man is to recognize continuity, that the human journey is not a clean break between them and us, but a long connected thread of adaptation and resilience. Their story reminds us that the roots of humanity are deep, and that we carry pieces of their legacy every time we create, explore, or care for one another. The discovery of Java man also highlights how science itself evolves. Dubois's find was initially met with skepticism and ridicule, but over time it became a cornerstone of human evolutionary studies. This trajectory mirrors the broader path of knowledge. Ideas once mocked can become foundational when evidence accumulates. It is a lesson in humility for both scientists, and the public truth often takes time to reveal itself. Java man taught us that human history is far older and more geographically widespread than once imagined. The fossils in Java pushed researchers to reconsider assumptions, refine theories, and open their minds to possibilities beyond the familiar. In this way, the legacy of Java man is not only biological but intellectual. It reshaped how we think about ourselves, how we approach evidence, and how we tell the story of human evolution. Science, like evolution, thrives on curiosity, persistence, and the willingness to challenge old beliefs. Today, Java man continues to spark fascination, not just in academic circles, but in the wider world. Museums display casts of the fossils, documentaries bring their story to life, and school children in Indonesia and beyond learn about the upright man who once walked their lands. For local communities, these fossils are more than scientific artifacts, they are part of cultural identity, a reminder that their homeland has played a central role in the global human story. For the broader world, Java man is a symbol of exploration, adaptability, and endurance. In a time when we face our own challenges, climate change, migration, and survival on a crowded planet, the story of Java man offers perspective. If they could adapt and thrive for nearly 1,000,000 years under constant change, perhaps we too can find the resilience to endure. Their bones may be ancient, but their message feels urgent and modern. In the end, the question posed by Java man, was this the first hominin to leave Africa, may never be answered with absolute certainty. But whether they were the very first or not matters less than the legacy they left behind. They proved that early humans had the courage and adaptability to journey into the unknown, to face new landscapes and new challenges, and to survive for extraordinary lengths of time. Java man's story is both a testament to the past and a mirror for the present. It shows us that exploration, cooperation, and adaptability are not modern inventions, but ancient traits that define what it means to be human. As we look forward to the challenges of the future, whether on Earth or beyond, remembering Java man connects us to the deep roots of our species. Their footprints on the banks of ancient rivers are, in a way, our own, marking the beginning of a journey that continues to this day.